This is the ship that preserves the fire of human civilization, with 10,000 of the best of humanity, voyage to the colony planet. But to our surprise, the ship was hit by an asteroid. 433 cryogenic chambers stopped functioning. This woman's cryogenic chamber was one of them, although she was lucky to survive. But as the oxygen ran out, she was only 10 minutes away from death. At the end of her life, she suddenly remembered that her husband seemed to have been put in the cryogenic chamber. A search by artificial intelligence, and she found her husband safe and sound. In the midst of her joy, the woman noticed that her husband seemed different. The scars on his face were missing from his memory. And then, the woman also had doubts about her identity. She searched for videos related to herself. She found that the video of herself, already full of white hair, old and dying. By comparing the voice in the video, the woman was surprised to find the old woman who helped her on the phone a while ago was her old self.
C'est quoi Omicron de 6-7?
Les Omicrons sont des reproductions génétiques humaines non contaminées.
Although she knew the truth, but there was still so much she didn't want to leave. She wanted to see her husband again, but then the oxygen level dropped to 3%. The artificial intelligence decided the woman had no chance of survival, so the preset euthanasia program was opened. In a crisis, the woman withstood the pain and unplugged the tubes of her whole body, successfully escaped another disaster. But this was only a delay. When the oxygen ran out in a few minutes, she would die just the same. Her instinct for survival gave her an instant inspiration, since the euthanasia process had been disabled. Then the chip in her middle. It could be used to replace the faulty chip. Seeing a glimmer of light, the woman finally showed a smile, but the AI immediately dashed her hopes. The oxygen level is only 1%. It was below the 2% oxygen level required to wake up. At this point in time, the woman had no choice but to accept the truth. She closes her eyes. She quietly waited for death. Suddenly she remembered something else.
Combien d'oxygène il reste dans les unités perdues?
187 unités perdues sont au maximum.
Théo, l'oxygène des unités perdues. Vers l'unité de 6-7.
Il faudra approximativement 14 227 minutes pour ignorer la restriction de sécurité. Il est recommandé de replonger la bioforme en hypersommeil à des fins de préservation durant la manœuvre.
After a lot of twists and turns, the woman finally solved the oxygen crisis. At the end of the film, she and her husband are reunited on a new planet. Although they are both clones, have never really met each other, but the love between them has been written into their genes. This film is coming out in 2021. Many viewers say it's similar to 2010's Buried Alive. It's true, it's the same claustrophobic space. It's also a one-man show. Only Oxygen Crisis does not have the same strong sense of despair as Buried Alive, but it's more about creating a tense atmosphere. And that's not all. It also covers today's popular space travel, interstellar migration, artificial intelligence, doomsday virus, cryocapsule replicants, and many other elements. But you should not think so many elements piled together must be a bad movie. The pace of the movie is a little slow, but does not make people feel bored. The heroine awakens as her identity is revealed little by little. The plot also reverses back and forth in hope and despair. Although it is not a masterpiece, on the whole, it is still a pretty good small-budget science fiction movie. Well, that's it for this issue. We'll see you next time. See you soon.